One black person off the street is ghetto. I thought white was the way. Whitewashed to pro-black. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. If you are new, hey bit, what's up? Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have not did a story time in like damn near 2 months. I know it's been a while, sis. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Like, I was just contemplating, well, not contemplating, but really my life has just kind of been all over the place. Like, definitely with my work schedule and just trying to balance my life. It's just been weird. So it's been kind of hard to give story times on Sundays and just have the energy to do story times and edit and all that stuff. But today is not really a story time, but it's a story time, but it's not a story time. As you can see by the title, okay, whitewashed to pro-black. It's really like a topic, I guess, / story time. So it's just like, it's something that I really just kind of wanted to share, like, because I feel like there's a lot of people who could relate to me as a person. Just growing up, like feeling like you're in between the, you know, white people and you're in between black people. You know, it's just like both sides just kind of make you feel different, or they make you feel like an outsider in a way. I think I was listening to a podcast or something and I was just like, bruh, I need to share with y'all basically what I've gone through, because I feel like I have a story to tell, and my story is still being written, to be honest, actually. So I know when I get older, I have even more of a story to tell. Y'all, I just always felt in between growing up. I was either too black or I was too white. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. But before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by Madam Glam. This video is sponsored by Madam Glam New York. Their nail polish is vegan, it's cruelty-free, it's HEMA-free. You can get 30% off using my code PINKTOKYO30. You can follow the bit.ly link down below in the description box. Be sure to check out Madam Glam. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I'm not gonna make this video long like usual, you know. I'm gonna try to spare y'all. Try not to go too deep, okay? But this is a topic, okay? Whitewashed to pro-black. When I made the title like that, I don't want to say that I was never pro-black, but okay, this will explain. Let's start off with a little story time. So when I was younger, we moved down to Atlanta from New York when I was around 1. So I'm a Georgian. I'm Atlanta all the way. I was raised in Atlanta, but I was born in New York. But I was in Atlanta for about 22 years of my life. And I'm 23, okay? So, and I just moved out of state for the first time, and I'm 23. So I've been in Atlanta for about 22 years, okay? My whole life, damn near, okay? You know, when we first moved there, we moved to a neighborhood that was predominantly black. I was in elementary school. You know, when you're a kid, you don't really adapt. You don't adapt to like the culture just yet. You're still a kid. You're open to all kids. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't see color. You don't see anything. You don't see culture. You don't see any of that. When I was in 3rd grade, I remember that we actually moved to a whole new county, okay? We moved to Henry County. If y'all are from Atlanta and y'all know where Henry County is, or if you've heard of Henry County, you've been there, you know that that county is predominantly white. Now, there is neighborhoods in that county that has like black neighborhoods, you know, because, and we're gonna get into that, okay? We're gonna get into that. There are neighborhoods in Henry County where it can be more of like a black community, but the majority of it, it's mainly white people. So when I was in 3rd grade, we ended up moving, you know, to the predominantly white neighborhood, and I went to a school for the first time. This was like my first time ever really being around white people. I hope YouTube don't try to do something because I keep using that word, but it's not a bad word, but it's just like, I don't want to give white people a name. Like, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, okay? But basically, it was just my first time, you know, being around that, going to school with a lot of white kids. Like, I was literally like the only black girl in my class, the only one. And I remember it was only 2 black kids in my class, me and it was this other boy. And so it was one black girl, one black bad boy. I remember coming home and I told my mom, I was like, it's a lot of it's a lot of snowflakes. It is like, I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not trying to be racist, but it was snowing. Okay, I told my mom it was snowing, and I just wasn't used to that because where I came from, because we moved to Clayton County. Okay, and a lot of people say that I'm not from Clayton County, but I'm gonna sum up why I consider myself from Clayton County overall. Because when we first moved to Georgia, we lived in Clayton County, and we was in Clayton County since until I was like, what, I think 8 years old. And then 8 years old, aka 3rd grade, is when we moved. So that's 8 years in Clayco. Okay, and then now we're in Henry County. So I don't know. I remember just telling my mom how I felt, like, because where we came from at the school that I went to, it wasn't just like I was used to being around, you know, black kids, but there was also Hispanic kids. You have like a white kid. Like, it was kind of mixed. It was kind of mixed in elementary before I switched. So it was just like, I was just, you know, it was different. It was very different. I just remember like all of my years going to, you know, this predominantly white school, and I noticed how my perception on black people changed. Like, I used to hate being black. I literally used to hate being black, y'all. Sometimes I cringe when I say it or when I think about it, because I know my headspace when I was a kid. Okay, because when you're a kid, you're influenced by a lot. And coming from like a low income household and going to a predominantly white school, and you would think like, why would y'all move to the, but I'm not even gonna get into all that. I'm not gonna get into all that because I wasn't as fortunate as the kids who went to school. Because the school I went to, sis, these people's parents was probably like damn near rich. Like, these people's parents are the type of parents that go to yoga in the morning, really nice houses, have horses and stuff. Like, yeah, I said horses, houses and horses. Okay, that it was country. It was country as hell. The suburbs at the same time, but it was like, you know, people have farms. I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those areas, those country suburban areas, basically where people who are well off stay at. Me and my family is like, we was a little bit on the, I wasn't as fortunate as the other kids at school. So it's just like, I just seen how the other kids were, like, just seeing how the other kids were, and how, you know, these kids would have designer clothes, and they will always wear Aeropostale, Sperry's. Like, I wanted it all, sis. I wanted to be just like that. It was preppy. I want to say it was like a preppy school. It was. But at the time, I just remember just feeling like I just hated my race. Like, I hated being black. I was embarrassed to be black. I hated the color of my skin. Like, I hated the way my nose was. I hated the way my lips was. Y'all, I am in the middle of editing. Y'all, this is so sad, but when I was in school, I used to literally try to make my lips look thinner than what it was. I used to do this to my lips, y'all. I hated my juicy lips, but now you can't tell a bitch nothing. It was just like, sis, I want it to be white so bad. It hurts me that I really used to think that way, and I was like really embarrassed. Like, and it sucks because black people who grow up in communities like that, like, it can be a gift and a curse. Like, at the same time, you're going to like a really good school that has opportunities. The education is fire. You end up talking proper. You just end up having like opportunities. You're exposed to like different things. But then at the same time, it's like when you go home at night, you know, it's just, you're not happy with yourself because you're not white. You know, I used to hate the way my hair was. And when I was younger, I didn't really care how I dressed, like, or how my hair was. Like, I didn't pay attention to how I pay attention to myself now. But like, when I was younger, I used to hate my curly hair. I used to get perms all the time. I would really try to look like I used to straighten my hair all the time, sis. I can't believe I'm telling this story. Like, as I'm going through, drop down in the comments if you could relate to anything that I'm saying. I know that there's people out there. When I was going to the predominantly, you know, white school, I actually used to talk very proper, like very proper. And even people now, they say like, you know, you're still proper, you know, but, you know, let other people tell it, I used to be proper, you know, like, I don't know, because as I got older, I ended up switching schools, and I ended up going to a school in Henry County, but this school was more on the black side. Like, it was more on the black side, okay? Just coming out of being in the predominantly white school. Okay, so basically I went to the white school. Why do why I keep saying the white school. I went to the white school for about 4 years because I was there from 3rd to like 7th grade, the beginning of 7th grade. So I was there for 4 years, about almost 5 years. But I moved. We ended up moving in 7th grade, and I ended up going to more of a black school, and this school was in Henry County, and the culture was completely different from what I came from. And at the time, like I said, I was still whitewashed. When I went to the other school, it was like a culture shock. Like I was like, oh shit, like I had teachers literally make comments like, oh, is our library not good enough for you? Because they knew what school I came from. I literally had a teacher say that to me. I remember when I switched, like I just wasn't feeling it. Like I guess I wasn't feeling the school like that, because the school that I came from, I was just like, this is just different. Like the school that the new school that I went to, it was like more on the low budget side. It was like some BET movie, y'all. I swear, like at one point my life was like a BET movie, like a cheerleading movie or some shit. Like Bring It. Y'all ever seen Bring It? And you know, they had like the white school competing against the black school, and like the black school got a low budget and the white school is just like, oh my god, like it was a culture shock. But I literally had a teacher, like literally we went to the library one time, and I couldn't find like a book that I was really interested in. But what my teacher didn't know is that I didn't really like to read. Like, I feel like it was so many times where they forced us to read in school. Y'all remember when they used to do them reading logs? If you're a 2000s baby, sis, do y'all remember? Because I remember us having to do reading logs, and we would have to do AR tests, and you would have to read a book. I used to fill in the reading logs because I just hated reading. I just felt like it was just forced upon me. And little did my teacher know, I couldn't find a book because I didn't really like to read, you know? And she made a comment. She was like, is our books not good enough for you? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was thinking as a kid, probably 11, 12 years old, I'm like, what is she talking about? As I gotten older, when I think back on that, I know what she was trying to say. She was trying to say that, oh, because the school that you came from, you think that you're better than us. Because she knows, that teacher knows what school she working at, the low budget, okay? And she knew what school I came from. She probably thought that I'm looking at these books like low budget ass books. And I wasn't. Like, I swear I wasn't. I didn't like to read like that. Like, I didn't really find books that interesting. And, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, you'll have times where you're too white for black people, and you'll have times where you're too black for white people. So let me just sum up the story time. Okay, and after I ended up going to the black school in Henry County, I actually ended up moving again in 8th grade, and I ended up going to another school, which it was mixed. Like, it was mixed kids. It was black, white. It was very mixed, and I think schools like that is a decent setting to put a child in, because you have different type of cultures. You got Asians, you got Mexicans, you got whites, blacks. Like, I like schools like that that's just very diverse, and that school is very diverse. When I went to high school, I actually ended up moving back to Clayton County in 9th grade, and I went to school in Clayton County my whole high school year. So that's 4 years. Okay, 4 years plus the 7 years. So what's 4 plus 7, sis? 11, is it? Hold on now. My balloon video, nobody said nothing, but I totally did not really pop 500. I popped 400 balloons, and my math was off. So the math wasn't mathing. So is the math now, sis? 7 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's 11 years. I was only in Henry County for about 5 years, baby. I was only in Henry County for about 5, 6 years. So am I from Clayco? Do I get my Clayco card?
No, what the hell?
I thought so. So yeah, so that kind of sums it up. So when I went to high school in Clayton County, of course that was a predominantly black high school, okay? It was nothing like it was nothing like the school that I went to in Henry County. And had I went to the high school in Henry County, I feel like I would have had a little bit more opportunity. But it just goes to show you, like, I literally went from one end of the spectrum to another end. Growing up as a kid, it seems like it started off that I was on this one end of the spectrum, because like I said, 3rd grade, anything under 3rd grade, I feel like does not count, because I'm a kid. Like, I don't understand culture. I don't understand race. I don't see any of that. So for a long time, when I was in the predominantly white area, I did not like who I was. And I had nothing but white friends. The black girls that was there, I felt like they was too ghetto. At the time, I thought black people was always ghetto. I thought just one black person off the street is ghetto. I thought white was the way. Okay, I really did. I really did. If you know me now, I am pro-black. I love being black. I do, and I'm proud of being black. If you had met me when I was like a kid, yo, I mean, we all went through those phases. Did we? I know I'm not the only one, because I literally had conversations with people that's like, yeah, I used to want to be white. I used to only like white boys. Literally, I never found black boys attractive when I was a kid. I always wanted me like a, you know, like a Justin Bieber, like just a hair flipper. I always wanted one of those. Switching the culture, I guess, like going from this end of the spectrum to the other end. The transition is what kind of gets you fucked up. Me going into the black community, I had to change myself in a way. Like I had to like alter certain things. I don't even want to say change myself, because when I went to the white school, I had to change myself too. I had to act extra white just to fit in, just to get like some acceptance. Like you have to adjust to your surroundings. So that's what I did. When I ended up going to the black schools, I felt like I had to act more black, because a lot of people would make comments and say, oh, you're so white, or why you act like that? You act so white. You're so proper. Like literally, people literally used to say shit like that. Damn it. Or don't even let me get on the light skin shit. I'm already light skinned. So people already be like, oh, okay, light, bright, you know, making comments. And growing up in the South, sis, why do we do that? Why do y'all do that? Because I don't do that shit. Like I don't pick on the color of your skin. Like I never look at a light-skinned girl and be like, oh, she's gonna be stuck up because she's light-skinned. Sis, that's just like saying, I'm not even gonna get into that. But I just don't know why people in the South do that. Like I feel like a lot of black people, they hate on each other. They hate on you based on the color of your skin, based on the way you talk, based on the way you act. You're gonna be too white for them, period. If you were not on the where am I going with this? That transition that I was talking about, it can kind of fuck you up mentally. It changes your perspective, because now you feel like you have to act a certain way to fit in with this group, and then you gotta cut the switch back on when you go back to this group. But for some reason, as I've gotten older, I feel like I don't fit anywhere. I feel like I fit in the black community, of course. This video is like all over the place, y'all. I guess as I gotten older, it's just like, do I want to fit in, or can I just be me? I don't feel like I don't fit in with black people, but I do feel like when I am around certain settings, I don't fit in. The typical black girl, how they see us is loud, very opinionated, very outspoken, you know, loud, complaining. And it's just like, I'm not like that. Like I get a lot of backlash for being, I guess, an introvert. And a lot of people probably don't even realize that I am an introvert. Some people think that I'm stuck up, and it's just like, why can't I just be myself? There's nothing wrong. Like people make it seem like there's something wrong with me because I'm a certain way. And it's just like, sometimes I just like to sit back. I like to sit back and I like to observe my surroundings. I just like to just sit back and see, okay, where do I fit in with this setting? I don't know. This is just a conversation that needs to be brought up, because it's just like, I just wanted to make this video mainly because it was on my mind for like the past few days. No, the past few weeks, because I've actually been wanting to make a video for the longest. Okay, and this has been a minute since I sat in front of my pink Tokyo sign. It's just something that I just want to start like a conversation, like let's talk about it. I think I might make a part 2 to this video. I really just wanted to create this video just to kind of have like an open discussion. It wasn't really like a story time, but it's just like, if you were going through something like that where you used to be whitewashed and hate your culture, like if you used to hate who you are, then this video is for you. Because like I said, I was very, oh my gosh, I used to literally tell people that I was mixed with half white and half black when I was a kid. Okay, I never said that shit as a teenager, and I never said that shit as a young adult. So let's get that straight. I always correct people. Like when people ask me, are you mixed, or you
girl, you have to have some white in you.
I'm like, no, I'm black. I'll tell people straight up, I'm black. I got little, you know, mixes in there and stuff, but I'm not gonna go into depth. Like, what does it matter? What does it matter what I'm mixed with? What does it matter if I sound proper? What does it matter if I don't sound proper? Why can't we just be us? Why can't you just accept somebody for who they are? Why does somebody have to be too too white? Why you gotta be too black? I just feel like people, like, you can't please everybody, but it's just like, why is the culture like that? Black people and white people, but mainly I'm talking about my culture. Like, why is our culture like that? It's like you're just too black. And you know what else I hate? This is just like a little side note. I was thinking about it. If you tell a joke to a black person, the joke gotta be really, really fucking funny. Like, it gotta be really fucking funny in order to get them to laugh. Like, it has to be like on some deep level of funny shit. Okay, cause I'm not even gonna lie. My personality, I still have that predominantly white spectrum like sitting on my shoulder, like dead ass. Like, my personality, like, I feel like I could probably make white people laugh more than black people. I ain't gonna lie. I just laugh at shit that other people probably just don't laugh at. I laugh at obvious shit. I don't know, y'all. I think this video needs a part 2. I need to go into depth, because in a way, this video is like my therapy, just to get this shit off my chest. I just don't fit here. I don't fit there. I'm too white. I'm too black. Like, what is it? What is it? Because definitely now, as a young adult, I am definitely too black for white people. Just even when I walk in the room, intimidation hits. I'm like Queen Latifah when I walk in the room. They see my locks, automatic. You're not with us. Once I start speaking around black people, oh, you too white.
You an L7. You an L7, baby.
Y'all, this video definitely needs a part 2. Drop them comments down below if you could definitely relate. I know that there's a lot of us out there. This video has been all over the place, but hopefully someone can see where I'm coming from, because I will post this video even though it's all over the place. Let's talk about it. Get it off your chest, period. We're gonna make a part 2 to this video. I might do another one next Sunday. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop them comments if you want a part 2, and if you don't, I'm still posting one. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.
Sliding in this bitch, find me on YouTube. Yeah, I know I am the shit, and I'm live on air, and you know we getting lit. Let me pour up a drink, cause a bitch getting rich.